we're back for science experiment number 2. And I hope you're ready. This one probably should be done outside. I'm going to do it in my classroom. My principals aren't here. They'll never know. As long as I clean up my mess, right? For this experiment, you're going to need to find your film canister. And if you'll notice, it's got a lid on it. I want you to practice taking that lid on and off, okay? See how it goes in there? Do that, like 5 times so you get used to it. And the second thing you're going to need is this Alka-Seltzer tabs. So this and this. Now, some of you might have already done this experiment with me, especially my 5th graders, as we did chemical reactions. Well, one thing about these Alka-Seltzer tabs, they're found in the medicine section, but when they mix with water, they are all fizzy and bubbly. We call it effervescence. Effervescence, that's a big word. Effervescence, yes. And so it makes them all bubbly, and that bubbling thing is actually air that's being produced. Yeah. So we have a chemical reaction going on. We have the water mixing with the tab, and it forms a chemical reaction that releases air. All right. Now, the best part is these caps go on pretty tight. So when we put this in here, we're going to get air that's trapped in here. And it's going to get, shall we say, tighter and tighter. It's going to fill up more and more and more and more and more with air until it bursts. And it blows up. But it's not going to blow up in your face, so don't worry about it. But we're going to make a mess is what it's going to do. So what you're going to need to do is just a little bit in here. I call these rockets, by the way. Cheap rockets. So we're going to put water. And if you can see mine, I've got probably 1/3 of it full of water. So less than half, I've got water in there. We want to space for that air pressure to build. Yeah, that's what it's called. So when we put air inside a container that can't get out, air pressure builds, kind of like a balloon. You start blowing up a balloon and all the air is contained in the balloon. Well, what happens if you let it go? All that air rushes out, right? Well, the same thing's going to happen here. It's going to build and build and build until the air rushes out and pushes that cap off. What's going to happen is you're going to have it upside down when you set it down. And when you set it down like this, that air pressure is going to build and build and build. And then it's going to blow the cap off the bottom. Air pressure, right? Blowing it down. What's going to happen to the top? Right? We start talking about reactions. We have equal and opposite reactions. So air going out, cap going down. We've got all things happening. Very exciting. Now, when this happens and you shake it up, I want you to set it down and I want you to get away from it. So if you're outside, it'd be even better if you put some sunglasses on, just in case you got some of this in your eye. If it hits you in your eye, I always have my kids wear their goggles. But here's what you're going to do. You should be safe. You do this outside. I'm doing it in my room. And rather than, I've opened up my package and you'll see there's 2 tabs in here. So you can do this many times. I'm not going to use a full one. I'm not going to use a half of one. Putting that back in there so it stays dry. I think I'm going to use 1/4 of one. I'm going to break this again. So we're doing fractions here. So I've got a little bitty piece of my tab. Guess what that means? You've got extra. You can do this over and over again. So what you need to do, I hope you practice on and off, on and on, on and off. Oh, I'm kind of nervous doing this in the classroom, but we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to put this tab in here. Then I'm going to quickly, as fast as I can, put the cap on till I hear a click. Got a click. Turn it upside down and walk away. Are you ready for that? Yeah? Okay. Kind of nervous. Hope Principals don't come in and see me doing all this fun stuff in here. Okay, here I go. Little piece with the water. And I've only got, a third of it full of water. Plenty of room for that air pressure to build. I'm going to drop it in here. I'm going to cap it. I'm going to turn it upside down on the floor, walk away. Are you ready? I wish we could do a countdown. I'm off on the side so you can't see me. Hello. I don't want to get hit. And it's not doing anything. That's okay. It's all that pressure in there. The air pressure is building. It's building. It's building. It's sitting there going, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of here? And it's building and building and building. Uh-oh. Should I check on it? Don't check on it. Just wait. Woo! It hit my ceiling. All right. So did that take a little while to happen? Sure. So you got to give a little bit of time, plenty of time for you to get out of the way. Now, I will say, if you start to see water leaking out, that means you didn't get a seal. That means the water and the air are going out and you won't have a successful pop like that. So that's why I said practice putting that cap on and off and on and off and on and off. So that way you get a nice seal, you turn it upside down, you walk away and you wait and see what happens. And you probably should do this outside because guess what? I've got another mess to clean up. That's okay. It's science. Science is fun. All right. So we're going to call this our mini bottle rocket experiment. Okay. Now the best part is you've still got all these tabs and you can use them, but don't use both sets. You should have this and another one. Save the other one for another experiment we're going to do. I like doing experiments with these, the chemical reactions, okay? So you've got one set. This one set is just for your little rockets. There's another set that we're going to use for another experiment, okay? All right, so we'll see you. That was experiment number 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. Clean up your mess, and we'll see you for number 3.